Hi. In this video, we're going to be working with how to work with order of operations. Now, you probably remember order of operations from a math class a long time before this. Now, order of operations used to get tricky because there was a special order that you had to follow in order to get this right. This order represented some acronym known as Pemdas, or also known as Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally. This represents the order that you should follow in order to best get your answer. So P represents parentheses, E represents exponents, M represents multiplication, D represents division, A represents addition, and S represents subtraction. And usually this is the order that you want to go by, okay? But you're gonna notice something. The first thing you wanna notice is when you have a multiplication and division at the same time, these two and these two go in the order that it's written. And that's what I want to specify when we attempt these problems. If you have a multiplication and division all in the same line, then you simply can go left to right, left to right. If you have addition, subtraction, then it's easier just to go left to right. And that's the number one rule you want to follow when you have an order of operations. So you ready? Let's begin. So in the first problem, it's asking you 14 plus 18 divided by 3 times 2 and then subtracted by 1. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look for parentheses. For part A, I don't see any parentheses. I'm going to go lead. So I'm going to go to my next step, which is what are my exponents? There aren't any exponents. So then I'm going to go to multiplication and division because remember, they go hand in hand. So if you notice, there's a multiplication and division all right here, all next to each other. So what does that mean? That means I'm not going to multiply before divide, even though Pemdas M comes before D. I'm not going to do that because when they're together like that, I'm going to go left to right. And if you go left to right, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do 18 divided by negative 3, which is 6. I'm sorry, 18 divided by 3, which is 6. So I'm going to bring everything down. 14 plus 6 times 2 minus 1. After that, I can go on to my next step, which is I'm going to multiply. 6 times 2 is going to be 12. So it's going to be 14 plus 12 minus 1. And then from here, I'm going to go left to right because I'm left with addition and subtraction. 14 plus 12 is going to be 26 minus 1. And I'm going to go ahead and finish this off. And I get 25 as my final answer for part A. So once again, just because M comes before D in the abbreviation doesn't mean you actually have to multiply before divide. You simply go left to right when you have multiplication and division at the same time, as well as addition and subtraction. Okay? All right, so looking at B. B, same concept. Let's go in order. There's a P that represents parentheses. So 5 minus 3 is going to be 2 times 3 squared minus 5. So I'm going to follow Pemdas. Pemdas says I should do exponents next. That's what I'm going to do. 3 squared is simply just 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. So I'm going to bring down 2 times 9 minus 5. I have multiplication and subtraction. Multiplication definitely comes before subtraction. 2 times 9 is going to be 18. 18 minus 5 I can do, which is simply going to be 13. And that's my final answer for part B. Okay? These become tricky, but don't let them because you just have to follow the rules with Pemdas. Okay? All right. So for the second example, I'm going to let you do it on your own. Go ahead and pause the video. Once you're ready, just press play and I'll be right here. So for example 2, part A, I'm going to look for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, followed by addition, subtraction. First thing I see is multiplication, division, which is right here. Luckily, multiplication comes before division, so it's just like the abbreviation of Pemdas. So I'm going to multiply 2 times 4, which is 8, divided by 2. And I'm going to bring everything down. 3 minus 1 plus 8 divided by 2 is going to be 4. So I'm going to bring everything down. 3 minus 1 plus 4. Now from here, it's a simple subtraction addition. Remember, when you have subtraction or addition in the same line, just go left to right. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 plus 4, you know that. It's going to be 6, and that's my final answer for A. Looking at B, same type of problem. Ask yourself, what should I do first? I have a multiplication and I have a division, but they're not next to each other. So because of that, just go left to right with multiplication division. 5 times 2 is 10, followed by Negative 10 divided by 2 is going to be negative 5. So it's going to be 10 minus 5 minus 1. Because subtraction and addition are the same line, just go left to right. 10 minus 5 is 5. 5 minus 1 is 4. And that's my final answer, 4. Hopefully you got those right. If you did, excellent job. If not, hopefully you saw your mistake. Remember, when it comes to Pemdas, follow the rules. Multiplication, division, doesn't matter if they're next to each other. Just go technically left to right. Okay, last example, example 3. I'm going to let you do this again. Once again, pause the video so that you can work on this on your own, and then press play, and I'll be right here. So for part A in example 3, I'm going to follow my steps. The first thing I notice is there's multiplication and division. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply negative 20 times 2. Let me actually make that again. Negative 20 times 2 divided by 4. So I'm going to go left to right. Left to right is going to be negative 20 times 2, which is going to be negative 40. I'm going to bring everything down. 10 minus 40 divided by 4 minus 10. Because division's still there, let's divide negative 40 divided by 4, which is simply going to be 40 divided by 4 is 10. Don't forget, one negative remains negative, so it's 10 minus 10 minus 10. So once you have subtraction, just go left to right. 10 minus 10 is 0. 0 minus 10. Wait a minute, what happens? We're working with integers. How many negatives do you see? You see 1. 1 negative subtract. 10 minus 0 is 10. 10 is a bigger number, so your answer is going to remain as negative 10. And that's it. Last one for this video and this exercise. I see the first thing I see is parentheses. So I'm going to go ahead and add 2 plus 6. So that means this is going to be 5 times 8 divided by 2 squared, which I'm going to copy down for now, minus 1. The next letter in Pemdas is E, which represents exponents. So that means I have to do the exponents first. 2 squared is 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So this is going to become 5 times 8 divided by 4 minus 1. Next, I have multiplication and division, which I have in this case. It's these two. They're next to each other, so I'm going to go left to right. 5 times 8 is 40. 40 divided by 4. I'm bringing everything down. I'm copying everything down. And I'm going to work this out. 40 divided by 4 is 10. 10 minus 1 is equal to 9. And that's my final answer, 9. Hopefully you got these both right. If you did, excellent job. If not, keep practicing this. Make sure you understand them. Always remember, Pemdas is used. Why? So we can stay in order. But when you have multiplication, division, or addition, subtraction, you're just going to go left to right when they're in the same line. So I appreciate you watching. I hope this helped. And best of luck. Thank you.